What if I told you that these cute little jelly monsters are more complex than their appearance suggests? In this video, we'll discover what makes a Chuchu the way it is. So grab your Master Sword as we cut through to its gelatinous core and get ready to know your enemies. The first game to feature Chuchus was the 6th mainline game in the Zelda franchise, Majora's Mask for the Nintendo 64. More specifically, they can be first encountered relatively early in the game at Termina Field. Since their introduction, Chuchus have gained solid staying power in the franchise, starring in 9 of the 20 mainline Zelda games, those being Majora's Mask, The Wind Waker, The Minish Cap, Twilight Princess, Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks, Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, and most recently, Tears of the Kingdom. They have also made their way into a couple of spin-off titles as well, with Hyrule Warriors Legends and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. The Chuchu's appearance has changed many times over the 20 plus years that it's been around. In Majora's Mask, it appeared as bottom-heavy blobs of transparent jelly with large grinning mouths full of crooked teeth and round eyes sitting atop stalks. Then, in The Wind Waker and The Minish Cap, they take on a much different form, where they are now top-heavy blobs of jelly with bulbous yellow-green eyes that move around by crawling or hopping on their pseudopod-like feet. As we get to Twilight Princess, Chuchus not only change their appearance, but also their name. In this game, they are simply known as Chus, and are little more than large amoeba-like blobs of opaque jelly. They then revert back to their Wind Waker and Minish Cap appearance in the Phantom Hourglass, and kept with that design in Spirit Tracks. Their fourth appearance change, however, happens in Skyward Sword, where they appear as blobs of jelly with dripping mouths and bulging eyes. Finally, we get to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, with what we know them to look like today, roundish blobs of jelly with yellow eyes and red lids. Chuchus generally emerge from the ground, and are slow-moving creatures that slide and hop to get around. When attacking, they tend to throw their bodies at Link by either sliding or jumping into him. There are some elemental variants that will use their elemental powers to shoot blasts at Link to inflict damage. Chuchus do have defenses as well, as a large Chuchu will split into 2 smaller Chuchus when attacked with a sword, and will continue splitting in 2 until they are too small to do so. This is best represented in Skyward Sword, where the angle at which Link attacks the Chuchu matters, as a horizontal slash will drop the top half of the Chuchu back on the bottom half, essentially doing no damage, but if slashed vertically, would split the Chuchu in 2. As shown by this chart, Chuchus come in a variety of colors as well as a few with distinct characteristics about them. This chart shows which games showcase each variation of the Chuchu, with some more commonly found than others. Red being the most common color Chuchu Link would come across in the beginning of the Zelda franchise, but this has changed as of the inclusion of Breath of the Wild, making the blue Chuchu the new most commonly seen Chuchu variant as of today. Now let's break down each Chuchu variant, starting with the Red Chuchu. Red Chuchus are amongst the most common types of Chuchu encountered in the series. They tend to be the most basic of Chuchus with no special qualities about them. In Majora's Mask, they are seen to hold hearts inside their bodies, which they will drop upon being defeated. In other incarnations like those in the Wind Waker, they drop Red Chew Jelly, which can be converted into a potion that will refill Link's hearts. In Twilight Princess, Link only needs to scoop the Red Chew Jelly into a bottle, which he can then drink right away, replenishing his health. There are also variants of the Red Chuchu, the first being the Rock Chuchu, which first appears in the Minish Cap. As its name would suggest, the Rock Chuchu wears a rock helmet. Due to this, they are unable to jump, sacrificing their mobility for more defenses, as their rock helmet protects them from most attacks. The rock can be destroyed if Link uses the Rock Breaker technique, or by using a bomb to instantly defeat them. They make their second franchise appearance in the Phantom Hourglass, in which they behave in a similar fashion by hiding beneath large rocks only to emerge when Link is close by. Link has a couple new options in defeating them this time around though. No longer able to use the Rock Breaker technique, he instead can either pull off the rock with a grappling hook, smash it with a hammer, or he can still use the trusty bomb to blow the Chuchu away. The second Red Chuchu variant is the Helmet Chuchu. Introduced in Spirit Tracks, they are the spiritual successor to the Rock Chuchu, as they wear protective helmets. Their helmets are made of iron and have 3 horns. Their helmets cannot be destroyed, and Link must use his whip to take it off to damage them. When Link takes the helmet by using the whip, he can either toss it to the side and finish it off with his sword, or he can throw the helmet right back at the Chuchu to defeat it. The third and final Red Chuchu variant is introduced in Breath of the Wild and comes engulfed in flames. It's the Fire Chuchu. These Chuchu inflict a burning effect on Link when he comes into contact with them. These variants are also able to release a fire blast, which can burn Link's equipment. The best way to deal with these Chuchu is to wait for them to enter their powered down state after they use their fire blast, or by just attacking them from afar with arrows and bombs. The second color on our list is the Green Chuchu. In Majora's Mask, their only differing feature besides their color is that they hold magic jars in their bodies. In most games, green Chuchus are used as a tougher variant compared to the basic red Chuchu. This can be seen in the Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass, as they can turn into a puddle of slime, preventing Link from slaying them as easily as the red ones. Much like the red counterparts, they don't have any particular qualities about them and can be dealt with rather quickly. Up next, we have the blue Chuchu, which has greatly changed across the franchise. Debuting in Majora's Mask, they were the only Chuchu that contained nothing inside their bodies. Instead, they could be frozen by Link's ice arrows to then be used as stepping stones to help him reach places he couldn't regularly. In the Wind Waker, they are considered the rarest type of Chuchu, with only 23 appearing in the Great Sea. They also gain a new ability by being electrified, shocking Link if he attempted to attack them. Unlike the other Chuchus in the game, the blue ones would flee from Link instead of attack him. This is because if Link does defeat them, they drop the most valuable jelly in the game, the Blue Chew Jelly. They only drop their spoils once, but if Link were able to gather 15 Blue Chew Jellies and bring them to Doc Bandom, he will create blue potions that Link can purchase, which act as a cure-all potion combining the effects of both red and green potions in one. It's still considered a rare variant in the Minish Cap, where it keeps its constant electrified state, and Link would have to defeat them with ranged attacks like bombs or arrows, or by first starting them with his boomerang, then finishing them off with his blade. Twilight Princess changes things up for the blue Chuchu, as it appears more commonly throughout the game and is no longer electrified. It still drops Blue Chew Jelly, which restores all of Link's hearts much like the blue potion from Wind Waker. Phantom Hourglass brings back its electrified state one last time before Skyward Sword strips that ability away and makes them exclusively found underwater. That brings us to Breath of the Wild, where they are the most commonly found form in the game and don't have any special abilities whatsoever. The last of the original 4 variants debuting in Majora's Mask is the Yellow Chuchu, which hold arrows inside their bodies. In the Wind Waker, they, like the Blue Chuchu, are electrified, but unlike its blue counterpart, the Yellow Chuchu's electrified barrier will drop periodically, making it so that Link can defeat it with his sword without having to stun it. Yellow Chuchus are unique in that they can drop both red and green Chew Jelly when defeated. In Twilight Princess, the Yellow Chuchu, although no longer electrified, is quite valuable to Link, as when defeating them, they drop Yellow Chew Jelly, which can be used as lantern oil to keep Link's lantern lit. Yellow Chuchus and Phantom Hourglass act very similar to the Wind Waker incarnation, bringing back their electric barrier that periodically drops. In Spirit Tracks, this changes, where Link must first stun the Yellow Chuchu for it to drop its electric barrier. He can do so by using the Whirlwind, Boomerang, or Whip. Skyward Sword is the last game that the Yellow Chuchu has appeared in, reverting to its most common iteration with an electric barrier that periodically disappears. They also gain the ability to produce an electric discharge, which they tend to use after Link splits them apart. A Yellow Chuchu variant is the Electric Chuchu, which is kind of like the Yellow Chuchu's successor. Introduced in Breath of the Wild, it retains most of the same abilities as the Yellow Chuchu. These Chuchus electrocute Link if they bump into him, or if they are hit with fully metal weapons. They are also capable of releasing electric blasts and will explode into a ball of electricity once defeated. It's in Link's best interest to deal with these Chuchus with ranged attacks, as they can be annoying fighting in close quarters. The last Chuchu variant with electric properties is the Metal Chuchu, which has only appeared in Spirit Tracks. They're highly dangerous to come across, as their electricity is not disabled when stunned. Most items such as the Boomerang and Whip don't affect them. The only ways to defeat one is by using arrows, bombs, sword beams, Phantom Zelda's sword, or by throwing a sharp object at them like a thorn or a Helmet Chuchu's helmet. Next up we have the Purple Chuchu, which are only found in Twilight Princess, but they are quite memorable. Purple Chews are considered the most common type in the game and will turn every other variant into a Purple Chew, essentially ruining the drops of all other types of chews. This is because Purple Chews drop Purple Chew Jelly, which, when consumed, has a random effect on Link, where it can restore 1 to 2, or on rare occasions, all of Link's hearts, or do the exact opposite by taking away 1 to 2, or in some cases, all but a quarter of Link's hearts. This is why this jelly is not advised to be consumed, and why the Purple Chew can be the bane of players' playthroughs. Another one-off Chuchu is the Dark Chuchu, only appearing in the Wind Waker. This variant has a dark purple coloration and inhabit dark areas devoid of light. These Chuchu are defeated differently compared to other Chuchu. Link's sword is ineffective, as they'll just reform if struck by it. Instead, he will have to stun them with light, turning them to stone. There are only 2 ways to do this. One, by using Link's Mirror Shield, which can reflect light onto them, or by luring them into light beams coming from the ceiling. After which, Link can either use the Skull Hammer, or pick them up and throw them to defeat them. Now time to cool things down a little, we have the Ice Chuchu. first introduced in Spirit Tracks, is distinguished by its white coloring as well as the icy mist surrounding it. This mist prevents Link from attacking them head on, as it will freeze him instantly, requiring the player to rub their screen with the stylus to thaw him out. Like most Chuchu with barriers surrounding them, they must first be stunned before Link can attack them directly. In Breath of the Wild, they act in a similar fashion to their Spirit Tracks incarnation, being able to freeze Link for a short period of time if he comes into direct contact with them. They can also release freezing blasts, and when defeated, will explode into a cloud of frost, which can also freeze Link if he's too close. Unlike most, these Chuchu are known to have a weakness against a certain type of weapon, that being the fire weapons, which can help melt them down much faster than others. Back over to another one-off variant, we have the Spiny Chuchu, which was introduced in the Minish Cap. They're silver Chuchu that possess a unique trait. They shoot out spikes from their body when Link is near. These spikes protect them from a wide assortment of attacks, and will remain in this state until Link backs away, whereupon the Spiny Chuchu will pursue him. To defeat them, Link must either be quick to attack or stun them first. A bomb is the only weapon powerful enough to penetrate their defenses when their spikes are activated, but arrows can be used to shoot at them from afar when the spikes are disengaged. The rarest of all Chuchus is coincidentally named a Rare Chu. They're pearl colored and sparkle and make their one and only appearance in, you guessed it, Twilight Princess. They're able to appear anywhere where Chus are located, but the chances of finding one is incredibly slim. The only certain places to find them are as follows: the Cave of Ordeals, inside a small cavern in Death Mountain, and inside 3 hidden caves accessed via Dig Spot. Rare Chus are highly valuable, as they leave behind Rare Chu Jelly, which has the same effect as Great Fairy's Tears. Not only are they hard to find, but they are also the first to be targeted to merge by our good pal, the Purple Chu. If a Rare Chu and any other Chu merge, the new Chu will become the other color, cancelling out the Rare Chu. Additionally, if Link already has Rare Chu Jelly in his inventory, any Rare Chu set to appear will be replaced with yellow Chus. There is also one last hidden Chuchu variant, the Black Chu. It was said to appear in Twilight Princess as there is data for it in the game, however, it was scrapped. They are fully functional if added to the game and drop Black Chu Jelly when defeated, which has the same properties as Nasty Soup. If a Black Chu merges with any other Chu, it'll turn into a Rare Chu, leading one to assume that this is the reason why it was removed from the final game. That's all there is for the Chuchu variants, some basic, some shocking, some downright annoying, and some that like to wear hats. But did you know that on 2 separate occasions, Link had to take down a Chuchu in a boss battle? Both boss battles happened within the same game, the Minish Cap. The first being the Big Green Chuchu, which is the boss of the Deepwood Shrine. It's actually just a regular sized green Chuchu fought from the perspective of a Minish sized Link. To defeat it, Link must use his Gust Jar to suck up the Chu Jelly from the bottom of the Big Green Chuchu and make it fall over before dropping its health with his sword. This battle is then replicated in a mini boss battle with the Big Blue Chuchu in the Temple of Droplets. This time around, Link also needs to avoid the Big Blue Chuchu's electric barrier before he's able to cut it down. It's time to do a little recapping with the items that the Chuchus drop by game. In Majora's Mask, red Chuchus would drop hearts, greens would drop magic jars, yellows would drop arrows, and blues drop nothing. In the Wind Waker, they all drop Chu Jelly in their respective colors, and if Link gathers enough of a single type, he can bring it to Doc Bandom on Windfall Island to craft potions that Link can then consume. In the Minish Cap, they drop hearts and rupees. In Twilight Princess, they again drop Chu Jelly in the respective colors, where red and blue act similarly to the respective potions when consumed. Yellow can be used as lantern oil, purple has a random effect on Link that can either heal or hurt him, Rare Chu Jelly has the same effect as Great Fairy's Tears, and the Scrap Black Jelly has an effect similar to that of Nasty Soup. Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks both see Chuchus drop hearts and rupees. In Skyward Sword, they drop Jelly Blobs, and finally, in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they again drop Chuchu Jelly in the respective colors. Let's finish this video off by ranking the Chuchu on 3 factors: appearance, usefulness, and threat level. First up, appearance. The Chuchu has gone through many appearance changes throughout the years, some better than others. This shows that the Chuchu is not afraid to try out new styles. It does have the perfect body after all, being a slime. For appearance, I'd give it 8 Triforces out of 10. Secondly, we have usefulness. The Chuchu drops Chu Jelly, which is a valued ingredient that can craft restorative potions that will replenish Link's health and other vitals depending on the color. In some cases, it can even act as a substitute for the potions themselves. For that, I'd give it 9 Triforces out of 10 for usefulness. I would have given it a 10, but Purple Chu Jelly exists, so I can't. Lastly, threat level. The Chuchu is mainly used as an early stage enemy for Link to face. Therefore, they aren't meant to be strong. There are a few variants that can pose a threat to Link, however, at that point in the game, he'd already be equipped to face them. That being said, for threat level, I would give the Chuchu 2 Triforces out of 10. With all 3 of those scores combined, the Chuchu earns a total of 19 Triforces out of 30. And that's everything you need to know about the Chuchu. I hope this information helps you when you encounter one in your playthroughs. If you like this video, leave a like. If not, leave a dislike. If there are any other Zelda enemies that you want me to cover in a future video, leave those suggestions down below. And, as a wise man once said, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this and slash that subscribe button to join the community.